Crowds gathered at Buckingham Palace following the announcement that Her Majesty the Queen has died aged 96.
The death of Her Majesty the Queen is a huge shock to the nation and to the world. Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built.
Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor was born on April 21, 1926, but it wasn't until her uncle King Edward VIII abdicated and her father became King George VI that the young princess became heir apparent. In early 1945, then Princess Elizabeth trained as a military truck driver and mechanic after joining the Auxiliary Territorial Service. 2 years later, speaking in a radio address on her 21st birthday, she dedicated her life to the nation and the Commonwealth.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
In 1953, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II took place at Westminster Abbey.
The Archbishop gently sets this splendid emblem on the Queen's head.
I mean, she has really steered Britain and to a large extent the Commonwealth through an extraordinary journey.
In 2015, the Queen became the longest reigning monarch in Britain's history, surpassing Queen Victoria, who served for 63 years and 7 months.
Inevitably, a long life can pass by many milestones. My own is no exception.
In 1957, the Queen met President Eisenhower. In fact, she met every US president during her reign except Lyndon Johnson, and she often spoke of the strong bond between America and the UK. As well as the birth of 4 children, Charles, Anne, Andrew and Edward, significant events included, but weren't limited to, the Queen's state visit to West Berlin in 1965, shaking hands with political leaders in Northern Ireland, including Sinn Féin's Martin McGuinness, then Deputy First Minister and a former IRA commander, and the tragic car crash which killed Diana, Princess of Wales.
I think another thing that people see in her is a sort of authenticity. I think in a world where politics and politicians, we kind of just know that in the end they're going to let us down. She evinces this sort of this genuine sincerity, if you like. I mean, you know what you're getting with the Queen. You know she's not going to let you down. You might not agree with the position of hereditary monarchies. You might have issues with some of her ancestors or some of her relatives, but she is the real deal.
In 2011, the Queen's grandson, Prince William, married Kate Middleton in a spectacular ceremony that saw more than 1 million people line the route from Westminster to Buckingham Palace. The following year, 2012, came the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations, which included rare public affection from her son, who has today become His Majesty King Charles III, as the crown passes, as it has done for more than 1,000 years, to our new monarch, our new head of state.
As a nation, this is our opportunity to thank you and my father for always being there for us.
On April 9th, 2021, Prince Philip, the man who spent his life supporting the Queen, died aged 99. It was the end of an era.
Although they'd been married for 73 years, they'd actually known one another since they first met in 1939 for 81 years. And this is a man who was her constant companion. You know, he was her confidant, he was her husband, he was the father of her children, he was her consort, and as somebody once put it, he was the only man who could ever have told the Queen to shut up.
I know what you want.
Queen Elizabeth II passed away at Balmoral Castle, her estate in the Scottish Highlands. Her 73-year-old son Charles, now the King and head of state of 14 other realms, including Australia, Canada and New Zealand, travelled there to be at his mother's side.
With the passing of the second Elizabethan age, we usher in a new era in the magnificent history of our great country, exactly as Her Majesty would have wished, by saying the words, "God save the King."